What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Let's go get a bottle of liquor for our cousin, even though our sister asked us not to let him drink. Nice. Pinot Noir from Oregon, a bottle of red wine from the United States. Hard to get. An inability to articulate brought on by a great surprise clings to the bottle. It was difficult to mouth even a word of gratitude for that unique gift. Words got stuck in the throat despite the adoration for this particular liquor. It is a favorite beverage, but an unwelcome gift. Ligia. Ligia. Mother's portrait. A portrait of mother from her youth. She stands proud, wearing a white dress and a silk scarf thrown over her exposed shoulder. Her long dark hair flows down her back, and she glances at the viewer with a piercing smile. Bare skin and a frivolous hairstyle. That's not how I remembered her. Nadia was as a young, unkempt maiden. It's hard to believe. This shocking vision of the painter must have been created in a previous era, a time when hearts were stirred with violent emotions, poems were created to the sound of a storm, love stories had to end tragically, etc., etc. Father actually commissioned such a painting. Bottle of white wine from the southern France, an expensive beverage popular among the aristocracy. The wine carries the aroma of peaches, apples, and a certain amount of conviction that a relationship between two people is beginning to take on a romantic edge. A beverage enjoyed by the upper crust, given to a man by a woman. Peach liquor with amber. A small bottle of liquor with amber. A beverage for true connoisseurs. The bottle exudes the sweet aroma of Keen's and a sincere joy of upcoming meeting. It is the beverage that belongs to people, brings people together, and sweetens the bitterness of everyday life. An element of the ritual the two old friends would eagerly indulge in. Every bottle found in the Szulski cellar contains a credible beverage. Uncle Veronin wouldn't disregard any of them. Let's go outside first before we go up. Maybe something will happen out there where we'll learn who this other liquor belongs to. What are you doing out here, kid? Apparently nothing. Alright, back inside. Sorry. We're gonna give him the one he asked for, I think. I don't think we should give him a different one. Why would we give him somebody else's liquor? That'd be messed up.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasia's study after every funeral we went to, and raise a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasia and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Ligia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
That's all you care about? Sure. Give me another
You'll
moment.
have to wait for me a moment yet.
All right, but hurry up.
I don't think we should drink anymore. Let's head upstairs. Bust of Siren. Sharp avian features bear a wild, disturbing kind of beauty that make you want to fall into her clutches and be lulled into an eternal dream by her sweet song. Yet her cryptic, slight smile makes a subconscious, primal part of your being cower away from the predator. But isn't a soul the only fair price for the bliss of giving yourself up to that enchanting creature? Can I change? I can. Serious photo. Straight back, stern expressions, noses in the air. Two boys that are just trying to meet everyone's expectations. Something went wrong here. Sure, let's get changed. Wardrobe. If you want to change clothes, use the wardrobe. You can expand your clothes selection by visiting a tailor. Oh yeah, we're looking good now. Pseudomonarchia Daemnomen. Compared to Crowley's Ars Gotia, there are 3 fewer demons. No evidence that all demons are salutors. Batham, a false lead. Pucil, a false lead. Anton claims to have subjugated Orobus, mere boasting. Marcosius, expected to be taken on the form of a wolf with the wings of a griffin and the tail of a snake. According to Duplancy, he takes the form of a wild lioness. Interesting observation by Crowley. Demons are unexplored fragments of our mind. However, in appearance, it resembles with an ox with wings. A lead for Sapnok. No. Message from Mother. Dear child, stop. It is with great sorrow that I have received the news of Stanislav's death. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the funeral ceremony. My duties in Paris keep me from traveling to Warsaw at this time. I join you both in mourning and sorrow. Mama. Letter from Rome, July 1896. Dear sister, I'm writing you because sleep eludes me. As I write before, I have found a suitable candidate. However, I'm struggling to reach his flaw. I feel that Paimon is within my reach. I even saw him vaguely, but I did. I'll stop here because my nerves prevent me from continuing. P.S. Yes, I'll be careful. Don't think of me as a fool like father. At the cemetery in the Montmorency on Sunday, the body of a distinguished writer and citizen, the late Serunio Dushk, was laid to rest. A handful of compatriots escorted the coffin amidst the pouring rain. The funeral service was very modest. In accordance with the wishes of the deceased, the sums allocated for wreaths were deposited in the coffers of the Claudia Potka Charitable Society. 91, blah, blah, blah. Warsaw Funeral Company. The company arranges funerals, exhumations, and transportations of corpses. A factory warehouse of metal and wooden coffins, mourning hats, crepe paper, and a vast selection of items used in the time of mourning. Success and level up. It's the only thing we can get. And read. My letter from Paris, November 1896. Sister of mine, I feel well enough to write something to you. The doctor also recommended I do so. I'm not alone in my anguish. I share a room with one Reeford Morton, whose last name escapes me. They brought him from London from Dr. Seward's clinic. Very interesting case. He spends his days hunting for moths, cockroaches, ladybugs, and beetles that come here sometimes. He eats them. He says it gives him strength to wait for the coming of the Lord. But I don't think he means the Savior. I cannot yet reconstruct all the details after that debacle with Paimon. My mind is still in tatters. Paimon visited me no more than a week ago. I know that's impossible. It probably happened only in my mind, but it was so clear. He, as the king of hell, with his host of demons, with the shadows of his penitents, called for me to join them. It was so real. I'll stop here. I'm having a hard time gathering my thoughts. Sweet. Wiktor, over here. Yeah. Over there in a second. Where are you going? All right, up there. Szulsk family portrait. Our family portrait. I can remember when it was taken. It was the year 1884, and Leah and I were 9 years old at the time. She was clearly tense, and I remember how Mother admonished her not to smile, not to fidget, and to stand straight. Leah was taken to take cue from her. Mother was able to freeze like a statue and sit there, barely breathing for a couple of hours. I, on the other hand, posing nonchalantly, was always more unrestrained than my sister. I could get away with more. Behind us, our father, the head of the family, one hand resting patronizingly on the back of the chaise lounge, asserting his ownership, the other holding a grimoire, the black grimoire. Behind father, a shadow, as if the shape was emerging and forming, indicating another presence. That's Balberith. The family is complete. Balberith. Balberith, my father's first salutor, probably not the only one, a perfect match. An ancient idol mentioned in the Book of Judges, secreted by nature, keeper of vegetation and master of insects. That he can command in order to protect people from diseases. According to Ars Gotia, Balberith belongs to the circle of greater demons. Just like father, the flaws that attract him are, much like with the Upir, those related to the heart dimension and the sensations of the heart: pride, blasphemy, contentiousness, but also consistency, stubbornness, and ambition. Balberith is gone. He left with my father. Where? We do not know what happens to salutors after a thaumaturge's death. Perhaps they become wild again, unhindered by the pact with their master, but the flaw that used to tether them is gone, so maybe they vanish into the void too. Stanislav's last will. My last will, written down this year, Lord 1888, in the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. It is my first and irrevocable will that my daughter Wiktor Szulski be appointed executrix of this will. Immediately following my death, let my inventory be taken and all my personal movables be sold by public auction. Let the money be collected to be offered to beggars at the cemetery. Everything related to the family business I entrust into the custody of my daughter. I do not attribute the manner of administration to her. I only wish that the business be small, not risky, and honest as I had run it. To my friend Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave a collection of muskets and 2 revolvers dating back to the uprising to our first meeting. I also wish to add my son Wiktor and entrust my grimoire to him, hoping that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will. Carry it out sacredly, even if it seems burdensome to you. Alright. Time for the reading of the will.
I am ready, Mr. Szulski. I only need all of you to be present. Can we start reading your father's will?
Sure.
Yes, let his will be done. Again.
Again.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Szulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaclav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity, Amen.
Excuse me, but could we get to the details?
Wiktor,
I think we all want to address more temporal matters, don't we?
In theory,
would you be so kind?
Of course. Here we are. All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Wiktor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
Pride.
I wish you success with your business and your hunting. I'm going to have something to eat before heading off.
Just a moment yet, Mr. Szulski. Your name is also mentioned here.
A last-minute plot twist.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Wiktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Szulski used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared?
Of course it has.
Did father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps.
in all that confusion?
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him
bad luck.
there in that condition, it's beyond description.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
So that's where it is. I've seen this place. I'd rather not imagine what condition you found Father in there.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
Feel like a
He
dick.
died as he lived, miserably. He couldn't have met a more fitting end after what he did to me. What he did to the Niedzic's family.
You've got to know that Papa felt guilty, even if he didn't say so outright. I'm not going to defend him, but I can't criticize him either. Even I don't know what really happened back then with Aborice.
An accident is what happened, and Father treated 2 kids like the worst disgraces in the world. As if it had been premeditated.
When a person dies so suddenly, their unfinished business remains. We'll never learn what Stasio carried in his heart.
What do you intend to do?
And Mordechai Hayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
Yeah.
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
This guy probably does. He said he
That's
knew everything
true.
about him.
You've got your work cut out for you.
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only
No,
one?
I mentioned 3 others.
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Time to do some detectiving.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Thanks. Okay. Journal updated. Also, Daddy's beloved magic book. I didn't expect to inherit anything, least of all his black grimoire. Too bad it went missing. Honestly, was I worthy or was it a joke? Let the prodigal son go look under the pavement while the book is at Warsaw Charity Society. Books on ancient cultures. Father would pore over the yellowed pages again and again, reading the same words over and over, trying to extract meaning from them. He repeated the words without dedication and the necessity of sacrifice like a mantra, slamming shut one volume and reaching for another. What does it all mean? A leather suitcase. Grains of desert sands from Father's trips to Africa had settled on the surface. He would set it aside, spinning plans for the future voyages into the unknown regions of the material world, searching for what was hidden behind the veil of reality. The demonic continent is clothed in hope that clung to it first and satisfaction that soon followed. It seems that Father had plans for Shurael, which he eventually managed to fulfill. We'll talk to you in a moment. The human heart is worth more than all the riches together in the world. Tonight, SR. SR. The message only appears to be brief. In fact, the pen strokes were accompanied by an accelerated heartbeat, motivated by restrained fondness for the addressee. The ink is dripped with a special care and warmth that may have seeped deep into the paper. I wonder if this woman is the one that sent, the wine. Shurael, a deceitful forest specter from Tartar legends. She leads people astray by taking various shapes. She could also be a rather twisted sense of humor. Could it be the father was hunting the salutor? You want to talk now, buddy? Just making sure that's like actually everything. Oh, see? Collection of books on the occult. Pseudo-monarchia, Diamondum, Ligamentum, and Beatrix. The grimoires of historical occultists brim with the paternal inquisitiveness. The worn pages, full of annotations in the margins, bear the marks of frequent reading. His heart beating with excitement, Father explored mysteries of demonology, thus expanding his horizons. Father's thoughts were recently occupied with a search for knowledge that bordered on the obsessive. This is related to something much more than his usual curiosity about the world, which I remembered him for. He was looking for something, hunting for salutors, exploring the mysteries of everything related to thaumaturgy. The only thing I still don't know is where it led him. Interesting. Alright, buddy, let's talk.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check.
Yes, give me more things to do. Absolutely. Like it. Received a quest. Oh, looks like it's timed. Neat. Are there any other things that, like, I can now, like, check out? Oh, see, look at that. I don't think that was there previously, unless I missed it. My love for you is burning. It keeps me from eating. It keeps me from sleeping. It keeps me from living. League, I beg you to end my agony. Agree to be my. Who is obsessing over you, sister? In such a manner as an unhealthy obsession. Is father ever in my room? Guess not. Alright, let's head downstairs. There was no phone on that receiver.
Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Wiktor? Wiktor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Wiktor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
Has something happened?
To me? No. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Powaskowska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I? Like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Just think to be like, because like, you know, like we've got technology advances that are really awesome, you know, like we're getting like AI developed and stuff like that nowadays. But like, just imagine being around at a time before that, and then freaking you were able to pick up something and call. Like, that's wild. Do you know the secret to time travel requires but one sip of cocoa? All of a sudden, Legia is reading a book in front of the fireplace, and I'm stacking building blocks. My parents are arguing in the smoking room. It's a warm day, and then everything goes to hell. Whoa. That's cool. Huh. I'm saving this, by the way, because I'm pretty sure we need 2 for the next level. So that's what these things trigger? Liqueur is not alcohol, it's more of a tincture. In fact, yes, a medicine. And since life is the most common fatal disease, well, to our health then. I love it. That looks so good. Good job to them.
Master Wiktor, let me guess. Have you come for some hot cocoa?
I had some, actually. Thank you.
Yes, a cup of cocoa would do me good.
Help yourself. The pot is in the salon, along with some of your favorite cookies.
Thank you. I had some.
It's been an age since we've seen one another. I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back too.
Mistress Ligia is really struggling with everything.
And so, the great Stanisław Szulski is dead, crashed by a building. Can't say I'd wish a death like that on anybody.
An awful death. Sheer cruelty. Mr. Szulski didn't deserve it. Now all we can do is think back on what a wonderful man he was.
Yeah.
That won't take long. So, this death, what do you make of it, Grażynka?
I'll tell you in confidence, Master Szulski. Now, I'm a simple woman, but something about your father's death doesn't sit right with me.
How do you mean, Grażynka?
Don't you suspect some impure powers had a hand in it?
Do you mean it could have something to do with thaumaturgy?
That I don't know. Look at us jabbering while there are potatoes not peeled. Forgive me, Master.
Ligia won't open up to me, but how is she doing?
She's having a rough time, the poor dear. Her heart is heavy, though she doesn't show it, but she's strong. She keeps her chin up and doesn't give in, and it's good she's got you to help now, Master. Only she's started smoking like a chimney. She takes after her father, no question about it.
Another time, Grażynka. I'll get out of your way.
Always ample work, but I can always snatch a moment for a chit-chat with you, Master.
We're going to finish up the house area, and then we're going to move on to the next episode. But for now, I'm actually going to go recheck all these places, because, you know, now we're actually looking for, like, certain markers that were not popping up previously. So I'm just gonna make sure, you know, quick once over, take like 15-20 seconds, no big deal. Check the garden too, might as well. Actually, you know what, maybe we'll talk to her first. No, we'll talk to garden. We just leave too. Ah, burglar, eh?
Are you lost?
Fuck. Don't try to be a hero, and it'll be all right. You're outnumbered.
Quantity doesn't always translate to quality.
Call the rest.
We got one with a death wish.
Oh, the rest? You actually gotta put your fingers in your mouth for that. Not just on your lips. That's alright, though. Let's check this out. We got a lot of things. So let's, like, dump all this stuff and just check here. Okay, so we got Adrenaline Rush. Reduces inflicted damage by 50%. So that could, like, really do a lot of damage, though. Reduces focus by 1 additional point if the enemy is in the suffering state. Throw that on you. Makes every attack on the enemy do the maximum possible damage. Restores your focus. I like being able to interrupt. You lose focus instead of taking damage. Neat. Sure. Why not? And sure. All right. Sounds good. Okay. I like that we haven't acquired Fall of Behemoths. But we're very prideful. All right. Let's start the fight. So he needs to take damage with Upir. Upir is the suggested one here anyway. Let's make you suffer. Wait a minute, actually. No. Let's make him suffer and then let's do that. Okay. Ow, with a little bit of a bleed. Okay, so we need to get rid of that for sure, because that's going to do damage. So you only have 10 health left. So I have you as well. So wait, if I had you go over here and be like, hey, give this guy suffering, and then you come over here and just doom this guy. Oh, I needed to get rid of my bleeding. That was dumb. Oh well. Punch you, and then we go back to Upir. And which one is the one that that one. And heal me up a little bit, yep. Thanks for the heal, brother. Couple more dudes. This guy looks fit. Dimension Deed. Deed 4 to disable. So we need to neck down his so give him that and that. So he'll lose 2 focus here. He still gets to attack, but we need to drain his focus to make him actually able to damage is the problem. Yep, little baby damage, I know. Over to you on this one. Suffering up. Causes him to suffer, and then I remove my negatives from doing this to this guy. That'll get rid of his focus. Let's just take him out. Wait, he was suffering, so he should have been drained by 2 there. Oh well. Definitely should have been drained by 2, I thought, but that's fine, I guess. Suffering for sure. Focus by 1, and then focus by an additional 1 if suffering. Yeah, definitely suffering. That's okay. Oh, maybe it was his trait. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, at least we know now. Inflicts damage, casts. Sure, give him a concussion, why not? Sit down.
Get off my lawn.
Burglars.
Wiktor? I heard a noise. Are you all right?
I'm fine. We've had a few unwelcome visitors.
Burglars? What's wrong with this town? I'll call Uncle.
Just taken care of.
There's no rush. I don't think they'll try to rob anyone anytime soon.
I don't think they'll try to rob anyone anytime soon. Now deed is 4. Great, fantastic. Well, let's do a quick check here, and then we're gonna talk to Ligia, and then we're gonna call it an episode because said we're gonna finish up what was in the house.
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
What's next for you? You're in charge here now. Have you got some kind of grand scheme?
A grand scheme? Oh, for now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Certain customers are unconvinced that a woman can handle running a business. What's worse, a woman without powers. You know what I mean. A thaumaturge at my side would shut them all up. After all, it's your heritage too.
I don't know anything about running a company, but if I can help in any way, you can count on me.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I trust the smoke doesn't bother you.
The trousers are an original style. Until now, I'd only seen women in trousers in the East.
First of all, they're practical. It's the 20th century. It's high time we started dressing comfortably.
You've always been brave, never afraid of anything or anybody. Like when Mother almost had a fit because you dunked my best tie in hot cocoa.
I didn't care that she was angry. I wanted to get you back for not wanting to play with me.
Because you were being too annoying.
You meant to say brave. By the way, Grażyna still makes cocoa every evening. You can conjure up the flavor of childhood if you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
You used to detest the smell of tobacco. You'd hold your breath going into Father's study.
That's true, but when I'd stay here, alone with Papa, and somehow over the years I got used to it. I don't know when I started copying him even.
Daddy's girl. You were always closer to him.
That's not true. I was just less rebellious than you, his thaumaturge son. Now come on, what else is on your mind?
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumyantseva.
Who is she? And what did Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
Thank you.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the creme de la creme of Warsaw. We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation? And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We
I read a
also
flyer
have
about that.
barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
You don't like my look? How dare you? Got a couple updates. Svetlana, the mysterious woman exchanging letters with my father, was Svetlana Rumyastava, a lady in waiting in the Tsar's court. Well situated. I don't think my sister is too keen on her. Imperial Hotel. I remember that my mother and father were sometimes invited to parties at the Imperial. How excited my mother would get. It was all she would talk about for the next few days. How exquisite it was, how beautiful, how expensive. Nothing seems to have changed since then. You have to be an aristocrat or possess a fortune to rent a room there. Alright guys, well that's gonna do it for this episode. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.